Hi, welcome back to the channel. This week we're creating those virus, sundial, metallic kind of high-pitched things. You know the sound, I'm sure. You might not know it by my description, but as soon as I start making it, you will recognize it for sure. And in addition to being one of my favorite sounds to make, they're also extremely easy. And we're going to look at two ways to do it in this video. And essentially all you need is some kind of a trigger. The sound source, the exciter I'm going to call it, doesn't really make much difference. What does make the difference is the comb filter that we're going to put on it. So let's turn off oscillator A, and then we're going to choose a noise oscillator. Here, let's choose, it doesn't really matter like I said, but here I'm going to go for glass lid. Let's turn the level up on that. Let's go around there. I've just drawn in some MIDI here, so let's just solo this track and loop that section. I'll just do this bit where the main bulk of the MIDI is. Nothing exciting whatsoever. However, if we now go to FX and we will turn on the filter here, let's put that right at the top and let's choose in the flanger section, comb plus, and turn the resonance up. Bit of drive. Let's make that pitch tracked. Currently we have this all on 16, so let's mix it up a bit. Let's go and randomize that. So we're going to randomize the velocity and the length of the note. Let's turn down the envelope here. So you just want just a very sharp attack, or very sharp transient, I should say. There we go. I think you can already start to hear where this is going. Maybe 24. We'll start on minus 24. And then let's add a note on random to pitch. Mod source, note on random 1. And then we'll turn the depth up to 36 semitones. So obviously plus 36 means that it's going to go back to 0 here, and plus another 12 up from there. I think anything after that starts to lose its character, but we can always come back to that. Let's see how we go. Let's add note on random 2 to the resonance. Let's make this one bipolar. And here let's add velocity to cutoff. It's obviously very busy at the moment because I'm only playing back this section, but we'll soon fix that. Let's add an EQ to cut out the lows. We only want it to be a very high level, high frequency sound. So that sounds about right. And let's also add a trusty delay in also. Well, let's 1/8 dot it again, as usual. Ping pong. And then reverb just to keep it all self-contained. As I said, it sounds quite busy because we're just playing back this section, but let's just do this full loop now. We can even attach this to... Let's go notes on random 2. Maybe a few more mutes in there. So that's sounding good. That's one variant. Right, so now let's try another variant of that. I'm just going to re-establish my MIDI here. So unmute these ones. And one missing. Initialize trusty Serum. And then for oscillator A, I'm going to use a basic shapes and on sine. Once again, let's play back just that busy section. Nothing special. Let's also turn down the sustain level because we know it needs to be quite short and transient. Let's start with 100. We'll probably come back to that. And obviously just with a basic sine, we're not getting anywhere near that metallic kind of character that we need. So instead, let's go to our filters and we're going to add in miscellaneous. Let's add ring mod. Tiny bit of drive because why not? Let's also, while we're here, let's attach this one to note on random 1. Ensure that is bipolar. So now we have panning left and right, but the sound itself isn't quite there yet. And that's because we don't have our trusty comb filter on. So once again, let's add that. Flanges, comb plus. Let's add some delay. 1/8 dotted, link those, ping pong. Ensure it's just on the high frequencies. Once again, let's cut out the lows. And reverb also. Let's now attach the cutoff to note on random 1 and the resonance to note on random 2. Resonance we can have on bipolar, and the reason for that is because it's starting here, so it can go both ways, so positive and negative, or clockwise and counterclockwise, depending on how you look at it. But cutoff we want to keep as unipolar, because we're already basically on the lowest setting anyway, so we don't want it to go negative, because it's going nowhere. We only want it to go positive. So let's ensure that that is positive or unipolar. A lot of it's just to taste, really. There's no defined parameters. It's just really just dialing it into what sounds good. I know that sounds vague, but to be honest, if I have a cutoff here, that might work in context versus up here. It depends on the track, depends on the preference. So it's impossible to say this needs to be at 1500. It's just dial it into randomly here and then tweak it to whatever works best in your context. Let's also maybe add some FM here. Let's go, I want something quite bright. Let's try one of the vocal ones. Turn the level of that down. And then FM from B. And then we're going to attach this to, well, what do we have? Let's have a look. We already have random 1. We have 2 instances of that and only 1 of random 2. So let's put this to random 2. Not a whole lot, just about there. And you can hear what it's doing. So when the FM triggers or takes effect, it's making this kind of a sound. We don't want that all the time. So let's turn it down and just modulate that occasionally. Let's have the wavetable position move through over 2 bars. Just give a bit of movement to it also. Maybe let's add sync. And then let's go back to note on random 1. And just a touch on that. Let's take this off, actually. We're modulating quite a few parameters, so if you overdo it on all of them, it's going to very quickly get out of control. So be light on the modulation is what I'm saying. Bit of unison, bit of detune. I think also let's add this one to note on random 2. This can be bipolar. And then let's have a listen to how this sounds. And then in the full context. So there we go, 2 ways to make that high frequency, chirpy, virus, sundial-y sound that you've heard in countless forest tracks. Whichever one you prefer is just down to preference, and obviously the context of the track. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed that, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.